show. Thank you very much for joining me here today on A Slice of Life, our daily dose of DIY motivation. And today we'll be sharing more about self-belief and sense of self-esteem as well, how negative self-beliefs are created, negative self-belief versus ego, and rediscovering and loving yourself again. In helping us understand self-belief and self-esteem is my guest today, Carina Tien, who is the founder and master life coach of Embrace Yourself, providing life coaching services and personal development for women. Her specialty is on guiding and supporting women through many transitions of their lives and enabling them to become the women they truly were meant to be. Now, having lived, survived, and in fact thrived through many transitions herself, Carina has successfully coached herself in finding her life purpose, and she's now living her life with passion. With her own life experiences, she is ready to share with her students on how she overcame and rebuilt herself in areas of self-esteem, self-belief, as well as finding true happiness. But before we find out more about Carina's own personal story, let's get your personal understanding of what self-belief means. Carina?
Hi, Eugene. Thanks for having me here. Yes, self-belief is very essential for the everyday living right now, especially everybody is rushing here and there to live a life that we want. Self-belief are usually formed or created through life experiences, your past experiences. And depending on your background of your family and how you are being brought up, if you have a very nice family, very supportive parents, you will have a very positive self-belief and you believe yourself that you can do a lot of things. For those that grew up in those families where there are family traumas, abusive parents, discouraging parents, they will grow up in a very negative form and they will always not trust them, esteem, they feel that they're always no good, they're always not happy with their life.
So self-belief is kind of like a collective result of your past experiences.
Yes, it's a byproduct from your past experiences.
Of course, part of it is genetic as well. Some people are just naturally born, maybe more self-assured, but environmental factors play a very big role in this as well.
Well, if you talk about depression, yes, sometimes it's genetic. The parents have depression, the children usually have depression. The reason being that way is children usually follow the family's pattern. So how we think, how we act are all actually a mirror of our parent. So if the parent is depressed and there's always very negative thought and no smile and feel that life is so miserable, the kids follow the pattern as well. And that's why usually the kids become a depressive person.
And when we're talking about self-belief, I think it's also important to draw a distinction between self-belief and confidence, because someone may be outwardly very confident, maybe very sociable and so on, but their self-belief may not be strong. Can you explain to us maybe how that might work?
Well, it's a cover-up. It's just a layer of concealer over your blemishes, that's all. So inside is still not a happy person, but outside to show people that they're strong. But usually these people has a very soft side. They usually cry a lot, they feel very unhappy, but yet they want to give people a very strong look so that people think that they are very positive, they are very powerful, they are very confident. But inside they are very depressed and very unhappy.
So it's like a facade, it's a front they show to the world.
Yes, yes.
And I suppose there are people also who do very well when things go well. When they have their job is going well, their relationships are going well, they are very fulfilled. But the moment something happens, the moment there's a setback, they lose someone important to them or they lose something important to them, that's when the self-belief comes into play. Then it seems their whole world comes crashing down, right? So today we're talking about how the importance of self-belief. Why do you think self-belief is so important, Carina?
Well, if you want to live a life you want to live with passion, you have to believe yourself. Because by believing in yourself, you are able to behave the way you want to be. Because if you draw a triangle, thinking on top, feeling at the side, and behavior, it's all interconnected. If you feel good, you will behave well, you will behave very positively. If you think good, you'll behave very positively as well. But if you behave in a very negative manner, for example, you always talk to someone with your eyes looking down, you're always even your voice has no energy, that will show in your feeling as well. Usually depressed person will never talk with energy. You will notice that. But a depressed person, when he talks, he probably will sound like, yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
It shows in your whole physiology, doesn't it?
Right. If you're positive, you will have a lot of energy. People can actually feel the energy, even when the moment you walk into the room.
And if you're positive, if you're happy as well, that's when you also genuinely try and contribute to other people and to the world as well. I'm chatting today with Carina Tien, who is the founder and master life coach of Embrace Yourself, providing life coaching services and personal development for women. More information at embrace-yourself.net. I don't think anyone was born hating themselves. I don't think anyone was born having a negative self-image. But if you observe children, especially, they're very expressive. They're very genuine. Everything comes from a place of spontaneity, and they have no problems expressing themselves, expressing their desires, their wants, their needs, their pains, etc. But somehow, through experience as we grow up, maybe parenting issues, you have overprotective or authoritative parents, maybe you were bullied in school, maybe you feel that appearance-wise you don't look good enough or as good as other people, and that's when we start to have a very negative self-image of ourselves, and that retards our happiness and progress in life, because then we start to feel that a lot of things we can't do, and so today we have Carina to share with us in this part of the show your own personal life story as well. How were your negative self-beliefs created in early
it was created very, very long time ago. I still remember at about 4 years old, when my dad brought me to a banquet. My dad was a taxi driver, so when he brought me to the banquet and the car broke down in the middle of the road and it was raining very heavily, and I went down the car and then I saw him, I watched him repair the tire, then behind, I keep telling myself that, I'm such a jinx, I shouldn't have followed him to this banquet. If I don't follow him to this banquet, this will not happen. So my negative belief is very, very strong from very young.
So it was a spontaneous thing. You yourself felt that.
I felt that. The reason being, my family is a very small family. I have 3 siblings, but they are very, very intelligent people, and they score a lot of A's in the exam. And I'm the odd one out. I dislike study, so my result is always quite bad. And whenever friends and relatives come to our house, the focus is not on me, on my siblings. So it's like, how did you score your exam? Nobody bothers about me. Because of the focus is not on me, whereas it's my siblings. Therefore, I always tell myself that I'm not as good as them. Okay, I'm not intelligent. When you have such a low self-esteem, you will never spot your talent. You're never able to recognize your strength. Although I might know a little bit of my strength then, when I was like 10, 15 years old. Whenever I do something, I will invite a lot of negative remarks from my mom. My dad loves me a lot, they really pamper me. But my mom is a person who is very negative, and she always question me, like, you sure you can do that? Is it good?
Putting a lot of self-doubt into you.
It's total doubt. It's like whatever I indulge in something, she'll say something else. So I remember there was once I was washing dishes and I was singing to myself. I like to sing. That's my talent. I only discovered it at the age of 17. So I like to sing. So when I was washing my dishes, I was singing very softly because I don't want to make it too loud, because I know I'll invite negative remarks. So I was singing to myself, and my mom said, "Hey, what are you grumbling about?" It's like, "Hey, Mom, I'm singing, I'm not grumbling, So even that talent I thought I have diminished. It's like I got no talent at all.
Yeah. As a child, during that time, in very formative years, very impressionistic as well, we're having all these very negative criticisms and remarks made about you that shaped you into a very sort of like a doubting, fearing sort of person. So how did that, pan out as you went into your teenage years and all that? What sort of problems did it, create in your life?
Oh, definitely quite damaging. So when I step into adulthood, I realized that I always tell myself I don't deserve good things. So even when I meet someone, I got into a marriage, I didn't actually so-called brand myself as that level, so I just got married and entered in the wrong marriage, and eventually ended about 10 years after that. And a lot of time, because of this self-esteem issue, I don't have the confidence to tell myself that I can do something. I don't even dare to initiate things that I want to do. So I'm always listening to people's instruction. People will say, "Oh, you're good at this. Why don't you try this?" I tried, but it's not my cup of tea. Yeah, after the marriage ended, I realized that I have to do something for myself.